Brilliance Audio presents This Magnificent Dappled Sea by David Biro, performed by Cassandra Campbell. The arrival of spring is a happy time in Italy as the rains wash away the winter frost. The land grows green and lush, and the first crop of wild strawberries makes its way to the open markets. This year was different. A line of dark clouds swept northward from Sicily, casting a pall over the country. On May 23rd, Giovanni Falcone, the courageous prosecutor in the war against the mafia, was brutally assassinated. A bomb under the motorway outside the Palermo airport took out a chunk of road along with Falcone, his wife, and 3 police officers. It was all over the news and in the papers, even in Favola, a tiny out-of-the-way town in the hills of Piedmont. A town of fewer than 300 people whose center consisted of a 16th-century town hall, a small Baroque church, a tobacco shop, and a bar that doubled as a restaurant. Even here, everyone talked about the disgrace of a government that stood helplessly by while a gang of lawless Sicilian thugs wreaked havoc. Everyone except 9-year-old Luca Taviano. He was far too absorbed in his own misfortune. Mario Severese had infected most of his 3rd-grade class with a runny nose and hacking cough. While the cold typically lasted a few days, it was taking longer to pass through Luca's system. His grandmother was worried. "I'm fine, Nonna," he tried to assure her. She called Dr. Ruggiero anyway. This Luca feared most. Dr. Ruggiero was the only doctor in town, an ancient man in his 90s. Unless there was a serious emergency, everyone still knocked on his door. His age, Nonna said, was an asset. He clearly knew what he was doing, keeping himself alive and well all those years. Luca disagreed. He remembered only the doctor's wayward hairs and speckled skin. His house was scary, too. Always dark no matter what time of day, cobwebs everywhere, and cats teeming over counters and furniture. Franco Morelli was convinced he saw a wild boar his last time there. Mario Severese swore there were bats, possibly even vampires. So while all Italy mourned the loss of their brave prosecutor, Luca schemed of ways to avoid a trip to Dr. Ruggiero's haunted house. After intense discussions with Franco and Mario during recess at school, he came up with a plan. The following morning, Luca pretended to be asleep when his grandmother entered the room. From the corner of his eye, he saw Nonna rubbing her hands together, heard the faint crackle of her breathing. As she placed her right hand on his forehead, Luca held his breath and waited. Normally, he'd be praying for fever since that meant a day off from school. Not today. Today, his body had to be cold as possible. The night before, when everyone was asleep, he snuck downstairs and hid a pair of socks at the bottom of the icebox. By the time he retrieved them, right after he heard Nonna's footsteps in the bathroom at dawn, they were frozen solid. He kept them on his forehead until his skin burned so badly he couldn't take it anymore, then stashed the socks beneath his pillow.